What is going on, Cigar Club family? Welcome to the August Top 10 box, where I unpack and talk a little bit about my top 10 cigars from this month's selection. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so every single month, me and the team are picking cigars and placing them in your boxes, but then there's always those select few that make it into my personal humidor on a more steady rotation after we've bought them for the box. This is the first time we're breaking these down, and also the first time we're ever putting for sale my top 10 cigar sampler from August. Link in the description if you'd like to buy one of those. If you leave a comment, by the way, and want to win a free 10 pack of my top 10 cigars from this month, just make sure your comment has hashtag Cigar Club Family in it, and tell me why you would like this or why you want it. I will pick one lucky winner next week that will win this top 10 sampler. We're gonna be doing these every single month, so be on the lookout. Once our boxes ship, you'll be able to go online, see my top 10 cigars selected, and purchase that sampler for 75 bucks. It's a great deal and a great way to smoke some cigars you might not have gotten in your box, but still want to try. All right, guys, let's start things off with one of my favorite cigars from this month. We've got the Bello, Connecticut. Bello is one of those cigars that I'm really excited to bring our Cigar Club family. I don't know if these have ever been in a Cigar Club box before of any kind, not just our own. And it's one of those families that I met when I was in Miami in June. If you guys have been following along for a while and being a member for a while, you'd know in those booklets that we send out. But a couple months ago, I was hanging out on Coalicion, which is 8th Street in Miami, where a lot of cigars used to be made and manufactured. Now a lot of that production has moved over to Esteli, Nicaragua, the Dominican, Honduras. The Bello family is still making incredible cigars right here in the US of A on Coalicion, 8th Street in Miami. I had a chance to spend the day with them talking about cigars, smoking through a lot of their family blends, and really quite naturally falling in love with this cigar. This has been a work in progress for the past few months, as they have made this entire production just for our Cigar Club family. So not every single person is getting one of these. It's actually a pretty small number. There's only so many that they're able to make for us to keep up with the demand. If you are able to get one of these, consider yourself lucky. It's a great Connecticut cigar, rich and creamy with nuanced spicy notes and the baking spices and some sweet nougat and creams mixed in through there. It has its transitions. It burns perfectly. And to me, it's been my go-to morning stick. So if you haven't received this one, I'd jump on this sampler ASAP. Next up, and to kick things off with this brand new relationship we have with Alec Bradley, we've got the Alec Bradley Gatekeeper. This is their only cigar made in the Dominican by the very, very famous E.P. Carrillo, a legend in this industry. They actually started production on this cigar the same year he won the #1 cigar of the year. So it's got a really cool story. The cigar smokes incredibly well, and I love it in this Robusto format. It's a 5x50. If you've never had this cigar, you're in for a real treat. Moving right along, a cigar that is finally back in stock that I've been waiting to get our hands on so we could ship it back out to our members. It's Cloud Hopper by Warp Cigars. Cloud Hopper is one of those cigars that just hits all the marks. Construction, profile, size, this 5x48. I love it. And as soon as they sold out of these, I was emailing with Kyle over at Warped and said, get me on the pre-order or the back stock list, whatever you can. But when these come back, I want to know, because we have a lot of members that have still yet to try this cigar, and it's really, really good. We got a lot of 5-star ratings on that in our portal. So as I go through each week and review your reviews of each cigar, review your reviews of all the cigars you're smoking, Cloud Hopper kept popping to the top. So we're getting it back in boxes. For those of you that haven't had it, you're in for a real treat. Staying in the Aganorsa vein, we've got the Jeremy Jack JJ14. Real quick, check this out. That's the cellophane from this cigar, and it is almost brown. This cigar has been aging for the past 7 years. 7 years. It's got a beautiful Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper and all Aganorsa filler and binder from Nicaragua. And let me tell you something, guys, this cigar is rich in nuance and has a lot of flavor. It's more of a medium plus Connecticut, more full bodied than the Bello, but still in that creamier, not super strong spectrum of cigars that a lot of our members really enjoy. Love this size, 5 3/4 by 46, and excited to be shipping Jeremy Jack cigars. Brady, the owner of Jeremy Jack, has become a great friend of ours here at Cigar Club. Next up, we've got another well-aged cigar. This one from a 2013 production. It's the Principal Accomplice Classic. This cigar has a wrapper that I don't ever smoke, at least when I know it's on there. It's a Brazilian Cubra, and nothing against that wrapper. It just normally never hits my palate correctly, and it's something that I haven't really fallen in love with until I smoke this. It literally smokes like you're tasting milk duds, sweet and caramely, milk chocolate, a very faint pepper note, some earth, but overall just a well-balanced cigar. And with this much age on it, a 2013 production, the strength has completely left it, so you don't get any of that nicotine kick. It's just an incredible smoke from start to finish, especially in a larger size like this, a 6x52. You don't have to shy away from this one. We are halfway through. Thank you guys for sticking with me on this one. This is something I'm really excited about doing every single month. So make sure you're always checking out for these videos. We'll keep this August sampler box live on the site until we sell out of them, and that'll be the same every single month. All right, next up, we've got one of the legendary brands in the industry, AJ Fernandez, with the Bellas Artes in short Churchill. This was the Cigar Journal #1 cigar of the year last year. It's a beautiful Maduro box press cigar. Earthy, coffee, black pepper notes kind of lead this one off. Impeccable construction and a few different major transitions and flavor changes throughout the stick. A true winner. Speaking of winners, if you guys have been around for quite some time, you know that Sereno is one of those brands we love to ship here at Cigar Club. That's why this month we've got the Sereno Medio in Petite Sublime 5 3/4 by 54. This is a straight medium-bodied cigar, lots of Nicaraguan filler and binder in there, wrapped with an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. It's balanced. It has sweetness, it has pepper, it's got complexity. It's one of those all-around cigars that you just look for when you're picking cigars for a club. It's a crowd pleaser and one anybody on our palate spectrum can enjoy. And how could I not include our featured cigar of the month in my top 10 sampler? I've been smoking these like crazy. It's the Illusione Fume de Amor in Corona Gorda. And pair this with the Few Spirits Cold Cut Bourbon, which, by the way, we have a Zoom Lounge September 2nd at 8 p.m. with Paul Letko, the founder of Few Spirits. We're going to be talking about distilling and pairing specifically that cold cut bourbon with this cigar. If you can, make sure to join us. Grab some Few Bourbon at your local store before you come hang out, and we're going to be giving away a lot of prizes in that Zoom Lounge plug over. Down to two more, and these two are little powerhouses of cigars that I have been smoking a ton of. First up is one of my favorite cigar releases in the past couple of years. It's the Crown Heads La Coalicion that they did in tandem with Drew Estate Cigars. It's a 5x46, small profile and format, big flavor. A lot of foot smoke pours off this in classic Drew Estate fashion. It's got your earthiness, your roasted coffee, it's got pepper, it's got baking spices, it's got this dark chocolate sweetness, an all-around really well-made and blended cigar. Very limited amount of people got these as they're kind of running out of them over at Crown Heads. I believe they're getting some more in stock, but we grabbed what we could and got them into some of your boxes. Last but certainly not least has been one of the cigars on the darker side of the spectrum that I just smoke all the time now. It's the FQ Proper in Robusto, beautiful closed foot. And this is made by Matt Hunt, one of my good friends in the industry, who's actually coming up to Cincinnati on Friday. So we're gonna be hanging out with him, talking a lot about this cigar as well, and maybe some new projects he has in the pipeline. But guys, if you haven't smoked this cigar, you need to. Pair it with a light whiskey, a white wine, a rosé. I mean, this thing, to get that balance with a really light and refreshing drink, counteracted with a darker Oscuro wrap cigar, primarily Nicaraguan fillers with a Honduran binder. It's got a rich, bold flavor. The construction is flawless, and it is one of the most beautiful looking cigars I've ever seen. So if you haven't had this one, guys, make sure you jump on this sampler and grab it. Love this cigar, and excited to be shipping this out to a lot of members this month. All right, guys, this has been my top 10 cigars this month. If you want to get your hands on these, we've got a limited amount of 10-pack boxes available. So that you can try these cigars that I just outlined here today. If we sell out of like one of them, we'll replace it with this one other cigar that I'm not going to tell you about. That was a tie between being in my top 10 and being number 11. So we'll make sure we stock as many of these as we can. I'll see you same time, same place next month to do the September top 10. Until next time, thank you guys so much for being a part of our Cigar Club family. I'm Dave Ember with CigarClub.com. Happy smoking.